What are 10 ChatGPT use cases if you work in management consulting? Hi, my name is Johannes Niari. I'm a project manager in strategy consulting, and on this channel I want to help you to learn the necessary skills that you need for your first years in consulting. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe to it and leave a thumb up. This will help you that you don't miss any new video that can help you to accelerate your career in consulting. And in this year, a huge event happened. Chat GPT was launched. Chat GPT is a AI-based chatbot that will help you to do text-generated tasks like summarizing text, doing research for you, or translating tasks for you. And this has been a huge hype, and I did several videos already about the basics of Chat GPT and especially how it can help consultants. Because one thing is for clear, ChatGPT will certainly change the way how we work in consulting, maybe not in a very, very short term, but I think over the next years, this will have a tremendous effect on the consulting industry. And today I want to talk about 10 use cases for ChatGPT if you work in management consulting, and we will split this in two parts. So today we will talk about the first 5 use cases that I see and that I tested myself in the past weeks in my daily work as a management consultant, and in the next video we will talk about the other 5. So with that being said, let's jump directly into use case number 1. Use case number 1, of course, is that you do research. And in consulting, we have a lot of research tasks. So for example, we want to look for market data, we want to look for data for companies, maybe we want to do some research about some people. So a large amount of our time we spend doing research. And the cool thing is that you can use ChatGPT to do that research for you. So if you have some simple requests like, for example, give me some background information on the company Amazon, or give me some background information or some market size numbers about the automotive industry in a certain country, then ChatGPT will generate an answer. And if we take a look at it, how it works, then you will see that in this example already, I asked ChatGPT to give me some bullets about Amazon, including the history, the product portfolio, and some key KPI. And then you see that it generates actually some very, very useful bullets. Like for example, here it talks about the history of Amazon. It talks about some market segments. It also talks about some financials that ChatGPT can find about Amazon. Of course, there are certain limitations. I think this is very, very good if you want to get a quick overview of a certain topics. Then it's very, very fast, it's very, very convenient, but you always have to be aware that ChatGPT only goes until 2021, so most recent data is not available. And also you have to double check the information, because sometimes ChatGPT generates some wrong numbers or some wrong information, so always double check it. But it's very, very convenient, especially if you talk about if you want to have some data about a topic where you are not very comfortable with, then this is a very great first place where you can start doing your research. Let's talk about use case number 2. And use case number 2 is that you can retrieve financials and key KPI. You see, in consulting, very often we need some key KPI and we need some financials. So for example, we want to look for revenue data of the past 5 years of a certain company, or we want to get an idea about profit margins, or maybe we want to have a very certain KPI, for example, revenue per employee or something like that. And normally you would have to go to all of the data bases that you have available in your company, but now you can use, for example, ChatGPT to help you to retrieve data. So if we take a look at the example, then I asked ChatGPT if ChatGPT could give me the average profit margin in the automotive industry, and as you see, it gave a pretty good answer. It worked with a range, so it said it is about or between 2 and 3%, and you know that you have higher margins in the luxury markets, and in some parts you have lower margins. But it gave a great a rough indication about the profitability of this industry. And of course, again, this is a very, very cool thing, because it's very, very quick, it's very, very convenient, and you get a first rough idea about the data. We have to say that, especially if we talk about data, that ChatGPT is not really strong, because ChatGPT is not connected to some databases like Capital IQ, some stuff that we use on a very, very frequent basis if we work in consulting. But nevertheless, it gives you a first estimate and a first idea about a certain number. Then the third use case I want to talk about is that you can use ChatGPT as well to look for sources. Because sometimes you get a request from your project manager, from a teammate, from your partner, that you have to look up some data, that you have to find some data. So maybe your project manager comes to you and says, okay, I want you to do some market research about the automotive industry. And then, in most cases, you don't know exactly where to start, because of course there are certain sources out there that you can use, but maybe you don't know what kind of sources you actually can use. So you can simply go to ChatGPT and ask, okay, give me please 5 sources to look up my market data about the German automotive industry, for example. And what's pretty cool is that ChatGPT also just generates these 5 ideas. So they say, okay, you can look at the Association of the Automotive Industry, Federal Statistical Office, German Engineering Federation, European Automotive Manufacturers, and the World Bank. And again, this gives you a very good first starting point, and you get this answer in seconds, and then you can look it up. You could probably also ask ChatGPT to give you certain links to get to these sources. So this is something that you can include in the conversation with ChatGPT. And again, I think this is a great use case, because this will save you a lot of time if you are looking for some information about a certain topic. Then use case number 4 I want to talk about is that you can use ChatGPT as well to formulate and to develop hypotheses. Because very often at the beginning of a project, you sit there and are looking for ideas. And in most cases, let's say you want to optimize a certain process and you don't know how to do that. Usually how you do it is that you go to your know-how system that you have within your firm and just start researching and start to collecting all of the information that you can find about a certain topic. But in some cases you don't have much time, and then you need a quick answer, you need some bullets, you need some quick ideas that you can use in order to formulate some hypothesis. And what I did was to ask ChatGPT if ChatGPT could give me 10 optimization levers to optimize the order to cash process. So this is a typical process, an end-to-end process that you have in a corporation, in a company. And I just asked, okay, please give me 10 levers. And then you see that there comes a list with 10 optimization levers that you can actually use to optimize the process. So for example, the automation of manual processes, streamlining of credit and collection processes, implementation of electronic invoicing, and so on. And I could generate much, much more hypotheses as well. And of course, this is not always to 100% accurate. And again, always you need to double check with your know-how database. You need to consult probably some experts to really get the information that you want. But as a first starting point, I think, again, this is really, really cool, because sometimes maybe you are in a situation where you just need a little bit of support in order to get to ideas to optimize a certain or to do a certain project type, and to optimize a certain function, process, or whatsoever. So very useful, and this can also save you a lot of time. Use case number 5 I want to talk about today is that you can also use ChatGPT to structure problems, because consulting is all about problem solving. And as you know, problem solving always has 3 steps. First, structuring the problem, second, analyzing the problem, and third, communicating your solution. And if you don't know how to structure a problem, or maybe how to structure a slide, you can also ask ChatGPT to help you with that. And if we take a look at this, an example, I asked ChatGPT, how can I structure the smartphone market? And then it gives me 5 suggestions on how to structure it. It says, okay, you can structure it by operating system, by manufacturer, by pricing point, by geography, by features. And again, I think this is really, really, really cool, because it gives you a first indication. It's like a brainstorming that, gives you some ideas on how to structure that. I mean, again, I can just take a look at it and then really think about, okay, what does the client need? What makes sense in our storyline? But I don't have to make all of these, or start with all of these thoughts by myself at the beginning. I can use ChatGPT to help me to get the structure for the slide or for the stream that I need. So this is again very, very useful in my opinion. Of course, I'm interested what other use cases you see, so please write it in the comments below. Tomorrow there will be another video where I talk about the other 5 use cases that I see in consulting. There we talk about stuff like Excel, PowerPoint, and many, many more things. So I'm really, really excited for that. Don't miss this video. And if you like this content, then please subscribe to this channel if you don't want to miss any new video that will help you to accelerate your career in consulting. Also, please leave a thumb up. And if you want to learn the basic consulting skills that you need for your first years in consulting, then please check out my online course, the Consulting Preparation Course, that will really help you to learn all the necessary consulting skills for your first years in consulting. So with that being said, I wish you a very successful day. Hope to talk to you soon. Goodbye, Johannes.